Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. You might notice that this is not the normal cat that I have up here, but I wanted to introduce you all to all three of my cats that I have, though you will mostly see Nutmeg. I'll start with her. This is Luna. She is almost 9 years old. She'll be 9 on January 1st, and she is the only girl that we have here. She's super sweet, not the brightest, but really quite adorable. Next is my old man here. This is Magic. He just turned 16 and we just threw him a birthday party. You're probably not gonna see too much of him just because he's really old and frail and he's actually kind of sick, so I'm just gonna show him here. Maybe from time to time he'll pop his head in, but that's him. And last but not least, the star of the show, Nutmeg. So Nutmeg is the youngest. He is gonna be 2 in November. All of my cats are actually purebred snowshoes. It's a pretty uncommon breed, but they're known for being super friendly and having dog-like personalities. Nutmeg especially, he actually goes outside with me. That's why he's my garden cat. He is completely leash trained and he's just a bundle of energy all the time. But since he spends so much time with me gardening, I kind of made him the mascot of this channel. So now that I've introduced you to the 3 cats that you may or may not see on my channel, I wanted to get into the purpose of today's video, which is to show off my Splashy Hoya collection. And as I was pulling plants for this, I realized that I have way more Splashy Hoyas than I ever thought that I had. So let's just get started. First, I'm gonna show y'all. This is my Hoya lacanosa Royal Flush. This one has been super splashy ever since the day that I got it. It was actually a gift. I did a Secret Santa that was plant themed, with a bunch of people in the plant community last Christmas, and from it I met one of my best friends, Jacqueline. She gave me this super adorable Royal Flush, and it has grown so much since she gave it to me. This whole strand didn't even exist back then, and I don't even think half of this existed either. I'd say it's tripled in size. It's been a super healthy plant the whole time I've had it. I have yet to repot it, but it seems super happy and of course, super splashy. Next, I have a newer plant that I got. Also a gift actually from Jacqueline. There will be a theme here with that. This is the Hoya Graffiti-eye. Now I don't know if it's called Graffiti-eye Splash or just a Graffiti-eye, but this one does have a fair bit of splash on it. And it is rooted. I got it probably 3 weeks ago. It is rooted, but it has yet to grow, so we'll keep it in high humidity and see what happens. Next is kind of an honorable mention, I'd say. This is the Hoya AH074. It's supposed to be a very high splash plant. I got this one for dirt cheap, really. It was like $5, and it has grown this set of leaves for me since I got it, but it is very low splash. I got it just really to see what would happen. I'm not expecting too much out of it, but the leaf shape is super cute, so even if it doesn't get super splashy, it'll be a nice Hoya to have around. Next, I've got here this one. Again, I don't know how splashy it's supposed to be, but this is the Hoya Memoria, formerly known as Gracilis. So this is a pretty common Hoya that you'll see around garden centers. Let me show you the tag. You'll see a lot of Hoyas with like this label on them. So if you see that, you'll probably find this. It's still being labeled as Gracilis. I just thought it was kind of cute and I bought it on a whim. This one was another one that only cost $5, and it's grown quite a lot since I got it. And every single leaf seems to be super splashy, which I'm really happy about. I do really like splashy and silver Hoyas. that is kind of the theme with a lot of my Hoya collection. So that is the Memoria. Next I have the Hoya Croniana Splash. This one, I don't really know. There is some debate, I think, in the plant community right now, whether or not it is a Croniana or if it's just a different type of Lacanosa, because the blooms are the same between Croniana and Lacanosa from what I've seen. But I do have this one, I have the super silver, and I have the black leaves, though I will say this is probably one of the better looking ones that I have. It's not crazy splashy, but it's just enough. It looks pretty nice. And it does have the abs on the leaves, which I've noticed the Croniana seem to show more than some of the Lacanosa types. So maybe that is a difference. But either way, I really like the plant. All right, I had to break the cats up because they were knocking over some of my Hoyas. But we're back. Next, I have the Hoya Peninsularis. Now this one, you really have to see up close. There you go. So it's got some splash. I don't know if it's another one that's supposed to be splashy or not, but it has a fair bit on the leaves, and I'll have to see once it grows. But I really like the muted color, and it does have a lighter color splash, and the leaves are also super thick, which I really like. Thin leaf Hoyas kind of scare me. They're not so much my thing because they're very, very thirsty. So thicker leaf Hoyas, especially with veining and splash, that is the trifecta for me. But this one, it has quite a bit, so I'll just have to see how it looks when it grows, but so far it's pretty splashy. Next I have the Hoya Rangsan. I actually have a couple cuttings of this, but my first one is not doing so well, so I got a second one, and I'm really just obsessed with the high splash on these leaves. You can pretty easily find these on Etsy or private sellers, but I just think for the price point and getting the amount of splash that you get on a plant, you really can't go wrong with this one. I got it pretty recently, so I'll have to see what happens when it grows, because sometimes they can get more splashy, they can get less splashy, but so far this one looks like a winner to me. Next I have my Hoya Lacanosa Splash. This one, the leaf shape reminds me of a Croniana, but this was actually one of the first Hoyas I ever got. I got it at a plant swap, and it only had like 3 little tiny leaves, and they're all gone now, so all of these have grown in my care, but it's still a super tiny plant. I do really enjoy it, but it just doesn't seem to grow super fast. Then again, super splashy, so I can't complain about that one. This one here is my most recent acquisition of a super splashy Hoya. This is the Hoya Wilbur Graves China, and I'm obsessed. This has quickly become one of my favorite splashy Hoyas. I got it as a 4-leaf top cut, so all of these came to me from someone else, and these are the first ones that grew in my care, and they are just unbelievably splashy. So I'm really excited about this one. I think I'm definitely gonna put it on a trellis soon so that it can just continue to grow. I really hope I don't get a runner from this one anytime soon. I would love lots of super splashy leaves. So yeah, this one definitely is gonna be one of the favorites, I can already tell. This one here is another more recent Hoya that I got. This is the Hoya Grassapetiolata Splash, and these up until probably this summer had a pretty hefty price point on them, and I honestly don't really understand why, because it seems like they grow pretty fast and they are super cute. I do like that this one kind of has rounder leaves than the normal Grassapetiolata that I have. It is also super cute, super splashy. I think I got a really good specimen with this one. It hasn't grown too much yet for me since I got it. I got it kind of looking really bushy like this, but I am excited to see what happens when it grows, and it should continue. I think these are pretty reliably to have a lot of this super splashy look. The next one, I do want to say this one I don't think is supposed to be a really splashy plant, but I don't know if you've noticed with Hoyas, sometimes some will just have like little bits of splash, and I think that can really continue and become even more splashy with time. But this one is the Hoya Parasitica Black Margin, and I had this one already, and this one doesn't really have much of any splash at all. It's just like a couple little bits at the top here, but I found at a garden center this, and I had to have it because that is probably the most splash that I've ever seen on one before, and I never seen a Parasitica Black Margin with that much splash, so I had to take it home, and I combined them, made a super cute full pot, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I don't know if that is a common thing, but I am gonna include it in this because it's even more splashy than some of the other Hoyas I've included already. The next one, this one I know it can get more splashy than this, but I am going to include it. This is my Hoya Pubic Calyx Royal Hawaiian. Now most pubic calyx can get pretty darn splashy. Like that Hoya Wilbur Graves that I showed you, that's the level that these can get. This one's probably got about, I don't know, medium level of splash. It's pretty cute though. I do love the dark stems on this one, and the emergent leaves come in purple, so I think that's an even cooler added factor. But I did want to include this because I don't have a super splashy pubic calyx, but I do know that they can get really, really splashy, and if I saw one, I'd probably have to pick one up. I think that's it for my smaller Hoyas. I do have a couple of bigger ones to show you. So the first one of those is going to be my Hoya Apavata, and it's not crazy splashy. It's another one that I've seen better ones out there, but the best part about this one is that the splash sun stresses to pink. So I have this one right up against my window in my plant room, east facing, direct morning sun, and ever since I put it right in the window, the splash has been insane, and with the pink color, and I honestly never really got that when it was living in my cabinet, so I'm super happy about that one. It hasn't grown any new leaves in a while, so I'm hoping that the next ones, because it's in the bright light of the window, will have even more splash. But yeah, pink splash is the thing, and it's super cute. Next I have to reach down to get this one because it's one of my bigger Hoyas. This is my Hoya Parasitica Heartleaf Splash. Let me back up. Yeah, pretty big plant. But the older leaves definitely have more splash than the newer ones, but it's not bad. Again, you can get better specimens out there, but this plant I would definitely recommend for someone that's new to Hoyas because this thing just grows. It just grows and grows and grows. It's got several different vines growing up this trellis here, and they're just popping out new leaves all the time. This is actually the newest leaf down here. I've noticed that they don't really just pop up a new leaf at the top of the vine. They'll just grow a new leaf wherever they want to. And I love that because it is filling out to be a much fuller plant than it was, which I really enjoy. But this one, definitely one of the favorites, mostly because of the size, but the leaf shape and the splash is super cute too. Back down. The last plant that I have is going to be probably one of my favorite splashy plants ever. This is the Hoya Snow Queen, and this leaf, this is the newest one, and it's the size of my hand, which is absolutely insane. This is a gorgeous plant. I did get it looking pretty full and bushy already, but it has grown 3 or 4 leaves for me in my care. And I'm not a big pond person, but it came in pond and it seemed super happy, so I kept it in there. Just moved it up to this Talenti container because it does seem to grow pretty fast for being such a large leaf Hoya. Like, I think it must take a lot of energy to get a leaf this size out, and it's done that several times for me now. So this leaf though, this was the first leaf that came since we moved here to Texas, and it seems to be loving. I did move it out of the cabinet as well, and I put it into the window, and it does seem to be really loving that and rewarded me with this super splashy leaf. I just think it's gorgeous. So that is going to be it for my Splashy Hoyas and cat introduction. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Are you helping? Are you helping out? Yeah. So cute.